Last of Us episode 4. Damn, now that I think about it, a month went by that damn fast. Boy, I tell you, I've been looking forward to Sundays, and I seen on one of the other previews that the episode's supposed to drop on Friday. I seen that. I don't know if it's gonna be this Friday or next Friday or something. I seen Friday, so I gotta go investigate because I don't want to miss it. Alright, man, the way episode 4 starts off is Ellie making use of the gun she stole from Bill's house. Joel has no idea about the gun yet. Speaking of Bill, I'm mad because this confirms that Bill is like really dead. I know they told his story and all that stuff, and it was a dope story. It was a really dope story. I'm just mad because the interaction between Bill and Ellie would have been hilarious. They was yeah, it would have been funny. Certain things happened with Bill and Ellie and Joe when they met up, so I kind of understand why they changed it, but at the same time, that's the only interaction. That's the only thing I don't like about these episodes as a whole, because they follow the story to a T, and then they just changed the ending of Bill and Frank. And that should have been funny because they was cussing each other out. That would have been dope. So Ellie's back to what episode 4. Ellie's admiring herself in the mirror with the gun, and then Joe is ciphering gas for the car, and then the pun book. So they never explained where she got the book from. Like in the game, it was clear where she got the book from. They never explained it, and it's like one of those little small details that it kind of don't matter, but then it does. So but anyways, we had the joke book, and the joke book is the reason why Joe is starting to loosen up. Because in the video game, he was cold-hearted. When she started telling those little corny-ass jokes, you start to see his character loosen up. So the body language about Ellie and Joe, that is on point. Even the scene when it was in the car, this is why I said everybody knew it was a heavy implied Bill was gay, because in that scene in the car, she stole those magazines from Bill's house. And then she exact words, everything she said in the game, she said in the show, they said that word for word. So it was nothing. They threw it out the window and all that stuff. So all that was identical. Even the little detour scene. Before I get to the detour scene about him telling his little backstory about Frank and all that stuff, that was dope. That's him starting to bond. Like, they had a car for a whole day. So you got nothing else to do but talk. And she a child. So of course she's gonna ask questions. But he realized that she wasn't gonna go anywhere. You can't tell her to shut up. He started talking and telling about her backstories about the Fireflies and the type of person Tommy is and all that stuff. So basically the need to go protect his family. And then she tried to like throw it under him, like, well, if I consider family, I'm not considered family, like your cargo. But it was just him just being an ass, trying to keep that little distance between them, because he doesn't want to get too attached. Because obviously when they reach the journey's end, they got to go their separate ways. So why would you want to get attached to somebody that you got to part with once you get to that destination? So the body language, the communication, all that stuff, that shit is on point. Like, sometimes you just can't help but get attached to somebody. So the jokes, the little puns she's telling, it's funny. You can see the excitement in her face when she's telling the joke. Like, everything, that was nice. They like the little subtle hint like that. It's dope. But the little part where she got the book from, they could have told where she got the book from. Let's just assume she got the book from Bill's house. Let's just assume that. So we got that going, and then so they get to the part where they get to the bridge, and it's a little suspect. So they go and they take a detour. Going to a detour, they see a quarantine. I do this in one take. Quarantine zone empty. So they're like, what's going on? So immediately you can see the look in Bill's eye, like, wait a minute, this is not normal. And then you see the dude come out, and then you see the setup for the ambush, which was so amazing because the scene was a little different, but the way the ambush was set up was identical. So they did a little something different. And the different thing they did was with Ellie. But before we get to it, Ellie, The little when they crash into it, the way they get into the car scene, the gun shootout. Of course, in the game, it's more people, way more people, but it's 3 people here. The little shootout, the way he talked to her, the way he told her, like this time, like it was like he was talking to his own daughter or Tess. This time, I'm gonna protect her. Nothing is gonna happen to you. Trust me, I got you. And the way Ellie responded was like her body language, like she was totally dependent on, like, all right, whatever you say, I'm gonna do. What you need me to do? No argument, no nothing. She knew the danger she was in, and this is probably like the first time she got in a shootout. So she's like, "Oh, discombobulated," and he's setting her straight. So he tells her to go over there to behind the wall, sit down and chill. I'm gonna take care of this. So that was pretty dope. And then the only thing different that happened in the game was they was in a library, and in the video game she got the book from a library. The poem book and all that stuff from the library. Joe was getting drowned in a puddle of water. He was getting drowned in a puddle of water. Ellie came, slept behind the dude, and shot the dude in the head. That's what happened on the video game. So they just changed it. So they shot him and paralyzed the dude. Which, now that I think about it, it has a bigger effect because the dude is not dead. The dude was paralyzed on the way down because he said I couldn't feel my legs. So she's seeing the aftermath of shooting, like harming somebody, and then her face just like went pale, like I just did that. Like I can't believe I did that. But at the same time, she only did it to protect somebody. So I think a lot of emotions was running through her mind. Like yes, I hurt somebody, but obviously I care about Joe because she could have left. She could have dipped out. She chose to go save Joe, so she was like, "Okay, I care about Joe. I care about him now. Now, not only is he going to protect me, but there's something there for me to want to go out there and protect him." Joe couldn't believe it. Like he's hard on himself. He's always been hard on himself. You can just tell because the way he looked at her, the way he got the gun from. He told her like, "I don't want you to see this." That's the only difference. The game, she killed him. The show, she didn't. Joe finished it off, so it saved her from a dark past. So I wonder what else they're gonna change in the show. I'm fine with that, fine with either way, but I wonder what else they're gonna change. And then she goes down. She has a little breakdown episode, but she's like totally obedient, not in a bad way. Just like it's like she gravitated and understand the situation like clearly. It wasn't no talk back, none of that. It was just, what do you need me to do? And yes, that's what happened. Even how they move along the streets, how she moves, how she walks behind him, how she crouches behind him, how he's always looking and peeking and she's not looking nowhere but at him. They had to have played a game because that shit is too perfect. That detail is way too perfect. So them, as they moving along, I was like, damn, how they gonna make these random guys be like a part of the story? Because you can't just make them just run around just shooting everybody. They had to be some type of organization, some type of leader. As I was thinking that, they showed the damn leader. And the leader has to be Kathleen. This is somebody new. Kathleen and the right hand man is Perry. So they got these two villains, or what do you want to say, antagonists? These two antagonists. And then they are looking for this person named Henry. So as they're looking for Henry, they think Henry sent Joe and Ellie to help them, but Henry's their primary goal. As they search for Henry, you see him go up in the attic, and then you start to get an idea of who Henry is. And it kept saying they, Henry, they, and I'm like, huh? And then you see some kids drawings, and you're like, okay, Henry's not alone. Henry got somebody little with him, like a little kid, maybe his little brother, son, or whatever. We don't know. Obviously there's a kid with him. So doing that, they go in and they go down and they go into an underground passage, but Perry discovered infected. And did you see the ground move? Which that shit did happen in the game, but it wasn't with them. It was with Ellie and Joe. Ellie and Joe, that happened, and okay, yeah, because that happened. The infected moved the ground. I can't tell you what moved it because it will fuck it up for you. I'm just gonna wait for the next episode and then we'll talk about it. Yes, we'll talk about that shit because I'm pretty sure they're gonna show in the next episode what the hell that was, and it's gonna blow your fucking mind. I want to see if they got like the design though, because man, it was originally supposed to be what happened with Bill. That's what's supposed to show up. What's supposed to happen with Bill when Ellie and Bill didn't get that battery? That's what's supposed to show up. So it's gonna be dope. This is definitely gonna be dope. So after Master the ambush, they're looking for Ellie. They don't know they're looking for Ellie and Joe, but they're looking for other people besides Henry and whoever he's with. And Joe and them get inside a little building to go hide out for the night. But before they do that, I almost skipped this part. I don't know why I almost skipped this part. Since Joe was so hard on himself, so he almost got killed. But at the same time, that wasn't what he was really like worried about. He was worried about her mindset, and he didn't know how to deal with it because when she shot the dude, he was like, he didn't say anything. And Ellie, she didn't say anything, which was I thought was very dope because the dude was trying to beg for his life, beg and plead, and what's your name on that stuff? Ellie did not acknowledge him. Joe just told her, hey, go behind the wall. Killed him and all that stuff. And then Joe started to realize that it's finna get dangerous. It's finna get really dangerous. So he made sure her mindset was fine and all that stuff. And she thought it ain't the first time. So he said, you know what? I've been a fool. This is what you think. I've been a fool. My bad. So he shows her how to use a gun, and she cannot contain her excitement. She's smiling. They are really bonding. And Joe, yes, he knows she's not Sarah, but she's still a little girl, and you can like the way he talked to her. He's talking to her like they almost partners. Like of course they're not. He don't see on level ground, but they're partners. Like they starting to be dependent on each other. Like he's letting them do a lot more stuff because all right, you say you can hold yourself now. I kind of need you, but I need you to be able to do yourself. But I can't always protect you. So that's what was going through his mind. I'm gonna try my best to protect you, but somebody might get the drop on me, and I might need a little help. So that's the body language I was getting from the whole time after the episode when he almost got choked out by the shotgun to the part where he got and he showed her how to use the gun and they moved through the city. I know it gets to the end, and I was listening to what they were saying. I think she told a joke, and she finally made him like break character. Like this is the most you've seen him laugh. Like yes, she told her jokes earlier in the story, and he chuckles and all that stuff, but he can hide it. But this one he couldn't, and I'm like, yeah, okay, now this is genuine. Now they really starting to build that bond, and then it shows that Ellie's been paying attention. She was like, hey, you can't hear to your right. So that's why I'm not sure if you can hear the glass. And like, damn, like it threw him off guard. Like, damn, you've been paying attention. And what happens? Somebody gets the drop on him. Which side was he landing on? What ear was up to the ceiling? The right side. Get the drop on him, and guess who it is? You already know who it is. Obviously, that's the people that the other that Kathleen and Perry were looking for. That's Henry, and I don't know who the boy is. But waking up with a little boy with a gun in his face, and you can't do nothing. Gotta be terrible. Now, as far as for the next episode, I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to say too much and mess something up. All I know is get ready for something big. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be nice. I guarantee you, it's gonna be nice. Holla.